Okay, we've left the solar system. Great. We're in our celestial Ford Falcon, and we're now going beyond. And I don't know if there's a subject, we've touched on rippers already, but we invariably lead to this circle of animals in the sky, and officially 88 constellations, but there's a small handful of them that which touch this path of the sun, and otherwise known as the Zodiac. I reckon we get a few questions on that one, Danny.
We get a lot of questions. It's also a great way that you can interact with your audience here, because you're always going to find someone who says, can you find this and can you find that? It's a fascinating subject. Of course, there is the astronomy aspect of this, Tommy and Andrew, where we're talking about the constellations themselves, of 12, 13 of these objects in the night sky. And then there's the astrology aspect of it too. And I think it's really important to make a distinction. We don't often get a great deal of time on any of our presentations to go into depth on anything, but we do find it's important that we touch on the subject, because there are lots and lots of people out there who still love looking at page 3 of the Herald Sun and looking at their star sign to see whether they're going to have a good week or a bad week or an indifferent week, and it's just a great subject.
So at any one time, out of the 13 of the zodiac signs which touch the path of the sun, we can see about 6 of them. Looking up on a beautiful clear night, you're going to see up to 6 of those zodiac signs. One great thing to remind guests is if they've ever gone camping and spent a whole night under the stars, well, that's the best way to enjoy a journey through all those zodiac signs. As Andrew said, our Earth is spinning very, very fast. And one of the joys of camping is we get to see a changing sky, not just for the little 20-minute or 1-hour window that we're looking up, but one of the joys of camping is we get to see that rotation of the Earth on its axis from sunset to sunrise, and we see that slow transition of the rising and setting zodiac signs. And this is a beautiful way. I encourage you to, if you haven't already done this, to do this. But what you can learn in one night from sunset to sunrise really helps build your mental picture of of not just the solar system, but literally as we move around the sun, the background of stars changes, and those familiar, famous ones are the Zodiac, and each one of those Zodiac has an entire story behind it and multiple stories behind it. We won't be able to even touch on those in this little module, but this is part of the learning journey, is to open up a star sign that's visible from the time that you're doing your presentation. Learn about it. It doesn't even have to be the Zodiac. There are many famous other groups of stars up there, north or south of that, like Orion and so on, and build your story around the beautiful insights that we've learnt historically from these zodiac signs.
And, you know, when we've got subjects as rich as astronomy and astrology, you can really talk for hours on this subject. So making this conversation concise, relevant, connect with your audience. This is what being a night sky presenter is all about. You need to have all of these subjects, and as I said, with these tools in your toolkit, sort of refined, and if you can do that, even to a small degree, you know, it's going to be a pretty awesome talk.
Yep. A couple of points, quick tips. All of these zodiac signs were drawn in the northern hemisphere. Yes. They appear upside down in the southern hemisphere. Some of those beautiful pictures that you see in magazines and so on rely on a little bit of creativity to get those great shapes out of it. People enjoy this. We're now looking at the original shapes in the sky, and we're reminding people that this is the sea goat, this is the centaur, this is the scorpion in the sky. And you'll get a bit of a giggle out of people too, appreciating that our earlier cultures, it was about storytelling and embedding important information into these shapes in the sky. And so whilst we might not be looking at a beautiful replica of these images that we think they are.
A sea goat has some challenges.
Sea goat's a hard one to imagine. But fortunately, you've got guests who are having wine and they enjoy that. But just remember that the point of these stories was to contain information. And so that the sky in many ways was one of the original libraries on the planet Earth. It's where we stored information and stories, and so that generations to come can look up, remember the stories, and go from there. So there's so much in the Zodiac. Have fun with it, and just remember that any night that you go out, you're going to get certain Zodiac signs that are prevalent in the sky. So choose one of them to spend a bit of time on, and then skim through the rest, because you'll need a bit more time to go through all of them.
No, that's right, Tommy. So fantastic.
That's our Zodiac. Keep learning on that. Keep shaping your narrative. It's time to go bigger again. Let's go galactic.
Awesome.